do you respect it as a good fight?
Jake Paul is very good at creating events that whatever you want. Well, the reason you get mad is because you're being manipulated.
Oh.
Because you know when the time comes, you're going to have to watch.
Right.
He's like a genius at that. He makes events that you have to watch.
Right.
Even if you don't want to. So this is one of those.
That's true. Hey, thanks for your time.
Despite all the negativity swirling around this matchup, Max Kellerman took a different stance, arguing that Jake Paul isn't just chasing hype. He's crafting a spectacle. According to Kellerman, Jake knows exactly what he's doing, using his reach, charisma, and promotional instincts to turn a controversial fight into a global event designed to dominate headlines and keep the world talking, whether they love him or hate him.
At the end of the day, I gave this little guy an opportunity. He should be thanking me. I'm paying him. I'm his boss. He reports to me, and I'm going to fucking son him on November 14th. So you, little man.
You paying me? Are you paying me?
Yeah.
100%? 100%. Facts?
Correct.
Yes? Correct?
Correct. I'm your daddy.
Following the fiery and tension-filled Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis press conference, the combat sports world exploded with reactions. Fighters, analysts, and fans alike couldn't stop talking about the chaos they just witnessed. Every stare down, every insult, every ounce of bad blood on display. It wasn't just a press event, it was a psychological war, and the shockwaves rippled through the entire fight community.
DC, I watched this, and we have our priorities way misplaced when we're talking about boxing. Like, everybody's complaining about this Ali act and all. Like, how is something like this allowed to happen? How is Jake Paul allowed to fight Gervonta Davis? It's completely unfair. It is completely just, I can't say the word that I want to say because I don't want to get canceled, but this fight should not be happening. And the press conference was embarrassing. Gervonta Davis should not have a mic in front of him. It was absolutely embarrassing watching this thing.
Speaking with Daniel Cormier, Din Thomas tore into the entire spectacle, calling it a dangerous reflection of boxing's misplaced priorities. He argued that the sport's integrity was being sacrificed for entertainment, pointing out how the rules and safeguards meant to protect fighters were being ignored. In his eyes, pitting a massive, relatively inexperienced Jake Paul against a smaller, world-class champion like Gervonta Davis wasn't just unfair, it was reckless.
Just the fact that, like, every time when Jake Paul would say something to Gervonta Davis, he didn't know how to answer it. He was comparing himself to like P. Diddy at moments, and I was like, oh my God, get a mic away from this guy. This fight shouldn't be happening. And then he didn't even know what weight they were fighting. He's like, I thought it was 195.
Speaking with Daniel Cormier, Din Thomas tore into the entire spectacle, calling it a dangerous reflection of boxing's misplaced priorities. He argued that the sport's integrity was being sacrificed for entertainment, pointing out how the rules and safeguards meant to protect fighters were being ignored. In his eyes, pitting a massive, relatively inexperienced Jake Paul against a smaller, world-class champion like Gervonta Davis wasn't just unfair, it was reckless.
But Jake Paul has been able to carve out and make his own lane in boxing, and I've never seen anything like it, bro. He literally, I mean, we don't know what weight class he fights in any situation. We just don't know. He kind of makes his own rules.
He makes his own rules.
Like, I didn't know why they were fighting because, I mean, Gervonta Davis's last fight was at 136 pounds. Jake Paul, seriously, his last fight was at
136 pounds. And we know, in DC, we know, boxers don't cut weight like MMA.
Not like MMA fighters.
From the very beginning, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis has felt like more than just a fight. It's been a collision of worlds, a clash between legacy and reinvention. Jake Paul, the YouTuber turned boxer, built his career by blurring the line between spectacle and sport, by daring to challenge names that already carried weight. And while critics lined up to question his legitimacy, Daniel Cormier stepped in with a surprising defense. He praised Paul for carving out his own lane in boxing, a lane no one thought existed. Cormier pointed out that Jake isn't just fighting opponents. He's rewriting the rules, dictating terms, and shaping events on his own terms. In a sport known for tradition, Paul's defiance has become his strategy, his rebellion his rhythm.
Oh my God. Did you guys watch that press conference with Jake and Tank? Tank and his team must all be completely brain dead. And if he were the face of boxing, it would f***ing end. Everybody in the boxing world should be thanking Jake. He's putting asses in seats. He's blowing up women's boxing like it's never been done before. And Tank, trying to have a conversation with him, it's worse than talking to a third grader.
Daniel Cormier then took his point even further, admitting he was genuinely baffled as to why this fight was even happening. He reminded everyone that Gervonta Davis last fought at lightweight, while Jake Paul's recent bouts were fought at much heavier weights, making the matchup look absurd on paper. Cormier emphasized that unlike MMA, boxing doesn't allow drastic weight cuts or extreme drops, which makes the physical gap between the two even more glaring. To him, this wasn't just an odd pairing. It was a dangerous mismatch that left more questions than excitement.
And then his team didn't even know what they're talking about. They're like, oh, well, how about we want to do 8 or 10 ounce gloves and blah, blah. And Jake's like, that was your guys' team. And his manager, whoever the retard was like, well, I didn't know about it. Well, what the do you guys do? You know, like, just the boxing community should be thanking the fact that there's somebody with some brains representing the future of boxing. Thank you, Jake. Tank, you're a f***ing retard. GPs.
Representing the old guard of boxing's power and prestige, Gervonta Davis stood as a proven lightweight champion with a streak of devastating knockouts, while Jake Paul embodied a new era defined by spectacle, virality, and disruption. Their rivalry wasn't born in the gym. It was forged through social media callouts, fiery press conferences, and unfiltered exchanges. This wasn't just a battle between two fighters from different weight classes. It was a collision between two worlds, one built on legacy and titles, the other on clout and chaos. And when the dust settled after the press conference, Jake Paul's father, Gregory Allen Paul, threw his own punches verbally. He mocked Davis and his team, calling them naive and unfit to lead boxing's next generation. He claimed Jake had become the driving force behind the sport's revival, bringing money, attention, and even support for women's boxing, while blasting Davis's camp for what he saw as weak communication and a lack of professionalism.
So, I mean, the Jake Paul fights, I don't even watch. I think they're dreadful, the nonsense.
That's easy taking, bro. Easy work. For anybody with a real IQ, straight trash. Yeah, you don't like that pressure? Oh, we know you don't like that pressure. Oh, yeah, and you don't even for damn sure don't like them body shots. And we know you come on with that looping right hand, that wild loop right hand. That ain't gonna land on a real fighter. Bro, for real. Man, you don't belong in the ring with Tank Davis, bro. You ain't earned that right. I don't care what you've done for women's boxing or this or that. I don't care about none of that, bro. You ain't earned that. But hey, you getting in there. Congratulations, you getting money. But to be accepted, you ain't gonna never be accepted, bro. Not by me. Hell no, until you fight a real.
He zeroed in on the chaos surrounding the glove-size debate, turning it into a public roast of Davis's entire camp. Gregory Paul mocked them relentlessly, pointing out how clueless they seemed about their own terms, like they hadn't even talked to each other before showing up. He laughed at the confusion, saying Jake had been crystal clear about every detail, while Davis's team fumbled through their own agreements, making the whole negotiation look like a national embarrassment. According to Gregory, Jake's professionalism only highlighted just how uncoordinated and inconsistent Tank's camp really was.
This is what I do, bro. This is why I'm the biggest in the sport. This is why everyone's here today. This is why I've had the most viewed fight in boxing history. So at the end of the day, I gave this little guy an opportunity. He should be thanking me. I'm paying him. I'm his boss. He reports to me, and I'm going to son him on November 14th. So fuck you, little man.
You paying me?
100%, yeah.
100%? 100%. Facts?
Correct.
Yes? Correct?
Correct. I'm your daddy. Respect to him, it's going to be a show, and we can talk our shit at the end of the day, but people are going to tune in, and we're both going to show out, and someone's getting put to sleep.
This is really scripted. Like, you really going off of something, huh? You see how you just threw that out there, Floyd, so I could just, y'all might not catch it, but right, okay.
Within the boxing world, opinions are sharply divided, and this matchup has been labeled everything from a circus to a cash grab. One of the loudest critics is veteran promoter Bob Arum, who dismissed the fight as meaningless and unworthy of real boxing fans. He didn't just criticize it, He practically begged people to skip it altogether, saying there's no point in even tuning in. And by the sound of it, Arum himself has no plans to watch a single round.
You know, that's what I bring to the sport, excitement. That's why I'm the one that doing the most at the gate.
And that's why I respect Tank. That's why this is amazing. He's a showman. He's a G. He's got his aura, his swag, his fans. I really respect him for taking this fight. Look at what,
Former world champion Timothy Bradley Jr. didn't hold back when sharing his thoughts on the upcoming fight, confidently predicting that Gervonta Davis would send Jake Paul home with ease, barely moments after the opening bell. He highlighted Davis's trademark precision, composure, and tactical brilliance, the same qualities that have allowed him to dismantle elite opponents throughout his career. Bradley emphasized that Davis is never caught off guard. He enters every fight mentally sharp, strategically sound, and perfectly adjusted to the challenge in front of him.
How you doing?
Oh, good.
Gervonta, you know I f with you. I f with you heavy, Gervonta, but I want to side bet you. I got Jake winning.
We already side betted, though.
We already did. What was the bet?
200.
Let's go 250.
Let's go 500.
No, hell no. See, Jake, that's what Jake.
come on, wow. You have to take
Jake,
it, bro.
Jake, y'all are making $50 million for this on Netflix. I can't do it. You split the bet with me, 250, 250.
Easy. Let's make it a minute.
The Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis hype has turned into a full-blown spectacle, and the Miami press conference was nothing short of explosive. The two fighters went face-to-face in a tense standoff, eyes locked, voices raised, and egos on full display. Both men threw down bold promises, each vowing to end the fight before the final bell. And for a moment, the stage felt less like a press event and more like the calm before storm.
I mean, there's money involved. Jake Paul is a social media star. In other words, in essence, he's an attention whore. It's just what it is. It's not that he's a professional attention whore. Great promoter though. I give him his credit what he's doing for the ladies and stuff. Amanda Serrano is long overdue the attention she's been getting as of late. And shout out to all the ladies that's getting a chance to perform.
Paul turned up the heat, boldly threatening to knock Davis out cold. He dissected Tank's defense with confidence, pointing out what he called clear gaps in Davis's guard and movement. To drive his point home, Jake even referenced Lamont Roach's success at lighter weights, using it as proof that Davis wasn't untouchable, that even the mighty Tank could be cracked under pressure.